Hello and welcome to this video. So I have not done an off-stream recording in a very long time, but I thought that it'd be appropriate given that I wanted to do an educational sort of video, and I haven't done that either in a very long time. I have the LCS Proving Grounds tournament in about 2 days, and I'll be honest, I've been preparing for that and just, being happy, I guess. I haven't done anything for my channels, and it is kind of sad seeing that wither away. So here I am, giving you guys something that I feel like I do best: live commentary with jungle tracking. Now, a lot of people struggle with this sort of thing, and they always ask me, well, whenever they come in, like junglers and whatnot, they always ask me like, how do I learn how to jungle track or do any of this sort of stuff? And oftentimes I'll start with telling them that juggling a lot of things at once is going to be difficult, or they might even tell me like, hey, I don't even know how to jungle track because I have to juggle a bunch of stuff, jungle clearing, looking at the map, right, and guessing like the numbers and stuff and predicting paths. Like, how do you do that? Well, my answer to that is just solve each thing individually if possible. So I'm very familiar with the Nidalee clear, as in I don't really have to think about Nidalee's abilities anymore because I've done this clear numerous times, or at least I know like Nidalee's mechanics well enough that like I can hit my buttons without having to think about when or like in what order. So just on that note, if you're going to try and refine your gameplay, you can use practice tool. You can practice your clear in practice tool, and you can even like watch videos to optimize. I have not optimized my Nidalee clear. I just do it the same way I've done for literal years. And I guess the difficulty for me here is I have to talk while playing. So let's try to do that. Anyways, when you want to track the enemy jungler, you generally want to take note of where they started. I did not, so I'll probably just do this that you could do with your team and ask them. Hopefully someone responds. But let's just assume that you didn't pay attention either. What would you do from there? Well, for me in this case, either obviously either you'll start topside or bot side. Most people, I make the default assumption, let's say like a 60-40 leaning towards bot side, because people like bot side leashes, right? So let's just assume Wukong started on the bot side. Now, to determine whether or not he actually did do that, obviously later in the game we're going to use his CS number and also his relative position, right? A bunch of different factors, mainly the CS number, to determine what exactly he's done. For example, if he shows up on the bot side in 3 minutes, he probably started top side, right? Just very simple things you can start with. It's not magical. It'll look magical. Okay, so Wukong showed up. He's got 12 CS and he's got both buffs. If you click him, you can see the icon. The blue is timing out and he's got red as well. So he very clearly did blue, Gromp, and then red. And now he's on this crab right now. So assuming he has smite, he probably just took it immediately, but I'm just going to check anyway. I should have done this clear better. Yeah, he probably has smite. So I'm going to try to combo every... Ooh, very nicely done by him. Now I got to walk away now. He used all his abilities. I can kite this out over time. He'll probably just try to re-engage onto me, but I have Renekton behind me. Let's see if I land this. Well, even if I do, he's too fast. So you see what I did there, right? The moment he showed up, I'm able to infer. And he's walking back towards his raptors. And you just want... This is when you start the actual jungle tracking. The moment you see him first, this is where you try to assume what he's going to do, because you know what he already has done. Right? So again, he had 12 CS, his blue was timing out, and his red was fresh. He showed up here. He did blue, Gromp, red. I found that out because if you don't know, if you're entirely new, every camp is 4 CS. So you just take his CS number divided by 4, right? Typically later into the game, obviously, like they'll get like minions and they'll kill wards and stuff. But you just want to keep track of that number. And he took the crab for 16. He's going to do the raptors for 20. Now let's think about what he's going to do after that. So obviously the raptors will be done. So let's just say, let's mark that down, 20 raptors. He just did his wolves, he's at 24. And he's coming to the crab right now, which I can take immediately. Hopefully I can just scan him. I wonder if his Gromp is up, his second Gromp, yes. Okay. Okay, let's see if he jumps over the wall. I'm wasting my E. Okay, they're gonna back up. That's fine. I should have been able to infer that he was just going to the Gromp. It shouldn't have been a question because based on his early pathing, we know that he did the Gromp, right? Pretty much immediately. And camps spawn 2 minutes and 15 seconds after they're cleared. So if you really want to be sweaty, what you can do is, after you clear the camp on their side, you take a look at the clock, 5:18 there, and you just add 2 minutes 15. For simplicity's sake, you can add 2 minutes, right? You'll get the hourglass timer anyway, 10 seconds before the thing. Bunch of different things that we're trying to juggle at once, but let's just focus primarily on like the counting CS. So he's at 24 after the wolves. What do we know is up? Well, he very clearly did not do his Krugs. We saw him do the Raptors. We scanned here, and he went to the wolves. So his Krugs are up. He's gonna do the Krugs most likely for 28. And the beauty of this is like, if you assume the best case scenario for them, as in like the best possible thing that they could do, which is farming. If you're wrong about the tracking, it means that your opponent's most likely doing something wrong. Okay? And that's good. It's either you're right and you know where they are, or you're wrong and they're doing something wrong. Now the difficulty is in the early game that there are many things that are not incorrect, but later in the game, there are very clearly going to be paths that you just don't take. Yeah, so he took the Krugs, 28 here, and he showed up topside. Nice. I neglected to mention that I was just pathing. Let's try to go for the spear. Very nice dodge. That I was pathing topside because of this. And obviously, like my clear with the Raptors, Wolves, and Gromp are natural. This is why it's really nice to line up your clear while tracking the opponent. So that you can respond to their shit. Especially with a champion like Nidhogg that can like aggress like this, jump over walls and super mobile around bushes and stuff. You don't track as much on like tank junglers, but it's still good to just know where they are. Okay, so he took the Krugs, he didn't take his Raptors, but his Blue's up. His Blue's up, and his Wolves are up. So he's most likely going to go there. We check tab, he's got 28 CS. So he's going to have 32 with the Blue, 36 with the Wolves, right? And then maybe he'll just path towards his Raptors, and let's just go ahead and track that ahead of time. And instead of going straight for this bot play, which my teammates are pinging for, instead of doing that, I'm going to go straight to his Raptors and try to find him there. Because if he's not there, I can just take that, and I can take the red that's going to come up soon, if you look at the hourglass, while also taking the crab. After both initial crabs are taken, crab spawns on one side only. It happened to spawn here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to sit in the bush. Here are the Raptors. Actually, you know what? Fuck sitting in the bush. I'm just going to take the Raptors and then sit in the bush. I can do both at the same time because Nidhogg can clear super quickly. One of the advantages, again, with this champion. I can just do this. If he's not showing up, wow, he's super late. So he is doing the blue and the, what's it called? The Gromp. He's at 36 CS here. So he actually did Wolves, Blue, and then Gromp. So this is what I'm talking about. If your opponent does like a bad path, as in he does it like in reverse here, he did Wolves, Blue, Gromp. He's forced to gank bottom, right? So he looked here, but we have a ward there, so I'm not really worried. A natural pathing would have been for him to do the Blue, Gromp, Wolves, and then path back towards his red. It would make sense to do that clear that he did if he wanted to do the dragon, but unfortunately his bot lane was getting pushed in, so there's really no priority to work off of. Now he has to path all the way back to the Raptors, but they're already gone because we took them. So, if you think about it in terms of like parallel universes, in one universe, ours right now, he didn't actually come to the red, and so I took his shit, right, his Raptors and his red, and I win. And in the other universe, he does, and then I potentially kill him. I'm just gonna back up here actually and hold the wave in case they push, which it looks like they are. I wonder if they're gonna dive. Nah. He's pathing to the right here. Probably because he understands that I took his red. Because I just showed up from the top side with a red buff. And they might invade me. So I just have to be wary of that. Nope, they're going for the dragon. Okay. Good to be safe on that. This is right here, right? I'm totally fine with this because I can just drop the Herald as a distraction. Now, normally I wouldn't do this right in front of them, but this is like gold or something. I'll just fight them here. He's gonna dash on me. Oh, I missed my spear. I got it. Wow, I missed the spear again. See, whenever I play in different elos, I always have to adjust. Okay. Okay, so you don't want to lose track. Again, he's at 44 CS. We know that he took his bot side. I don't know why I thought that this Rift Herald would path here and then hit. It literally would just go to the lane. Big mistake. Yeah, this is the thing that a lot of people would probably struggle with. It's maintaining like the tracking, right? So we've had a pretty uninterrupted game, and that's why I can just, you know, clear camps and like count numbers. But always keep that tracking up. Hit tab, get into the habit of doing that. You know, that could be like your little marker. Okay, he's bottom with 44 CS still. I mean, even without checking tab, you could probably assume that he's done literally 0 camps because they're not up. And also there's no crab. He didn't take the dragon. He just died again. But again, good to get that habit of hitting tab, check the number, right? And then infer. So very clearly, even without him dying here, we know that his raptors are up, not only because we have the timer, but his number didn't change. So I'm gonna go to his raptors, right? Very, like, it's not like a guessing game. Or rather, it's not that hard of a guessing game. It's like you can do a lot of things to make it so that you're more likely to be right. Like literally counting. Okay, I'm just gonna take this, and then I'm just gonna walk to his Krugs and take it as well. Because once you have a lead like this, there's no reason to be scared. Okay, step in the bush and throw the spears so maybe he doesn't see the animation. And take this. If you're ever in a situation like this where you just absolutely dominate one side of the jungle, Kennen's right there. I don't really care. And you kill them, like, do not let up the pressure. If you're able to, do not let up. So this is another one of the reasons why I really enjoy Nidhogg. I can literally just walk to their side. Some champions that are ridiculously strong in the jungle can just... Can I not click this ward? Oh my god, when I clicked it, it went to the pink ward. What the fuck? Okay, I was gonna say I was gonna walk across the lane, but looks like Kennen went all the way around here back to mid just to defend. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, in a parallel universe, he doesn't do that, and Jinx doesn't mess with me here. And even if she messed with me, if she was alone, I would have literally walked across to the wolves just to mess with the Wukong. So let's keep up the tracking. Let's think about what number he's going to be at. Well, he had his bot side, at least 2 camps, wolves and Gromp. So he's going to be at least... Oh, well, okay. Now it shows for certain. It's at 48, so he only did 1 camp. Right. I guess I should have played in like Diamond or something, so that the jungler could be a little bit more proficient. Typically, you don't see junglers only do like 1 camp. Actually, I recently played a scrim where I was completely wrong about like the 4-minute and 5-minute pathing, because the enemy jungler, in hindsight, we checked, right? We checked the bot and we did some review. He just sat mid. Like, he literally just sat mid. And I've had some... I remember having one video before. I was playing Kha'Zix into Lee Sin, and I was tracking him, and I checked in the bottom, like, why am I wrong about his numbers here? And it's because that jungler, like, sat, like, here, and, like, went to, like, the mid bush and sat there for, like, a nice 40 seconds. And sometimes that'll happen. Actually, a lot of the times that'll happen. In your games, especially. I'm assuming most of my audience is around, like, silver, gold, because that's, like, the majority. Ooh, watch out here. I'm just gonna smite this. Wow, actually, I did not expect that stun to last that long. Wait, what is this? What is this guy doing? That'll happen in your game, and really important to just not get confused. I mean, you can see even within this video, like, I'm very confused as to why people do certain things. Not just like micro mechanics, but also like the pathing. Like, why is Wukong only 48 CS? You know, from 44. Like, why did he not do both of these camps? Maybe his teammate took it, right? Maybe his teammate counter jungled him or something like that. Especially like top laners. Top laners love to pass by Gromp and just grab them, or the Krugs, grab them. That's like the difficulty in this game. It's making sense of... Oh my goodness, that guy almost stole it. Very nice tank from this guy. I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose. But as I was saying, you got to try to make sense of like the randomness. And what'll help you is to... This is like a meta game. It's like whenever I try to teach something, I make sure I try to teach you how to learn it. And what I mean by that is I'll just describe this process to you, okay? So he's at 59 CS. If we see any different number, we'll be able to infer, first of all. Whenever you're trying to learn something, I feel like a lot of people have an ego about it. As in, if they don't learn it immediately, it frustrates them. It frustrates them because of the implication of them not having learned it immediately. All right, 59 to 63. It took one camp. It's obviously the red. And I find that to be the case with most people. Oh, I couldn't get that. Let's see if she... Oh, I got this guy. These minions actually block the hook. I think a lot of people, especially in the younger generation now, from what I notice, is like, if they don't get what they want immediately, as in like understanding a concept or ELO or whatever the hell they want, it literally frustrates them, right? It's an ego thing. It's like they come in assuming that they're intelligent. They come in like, I know what I'm saying here sounds as like an insult to you guys. It's more like a reality check for a lot of us, myself included. And this helped me learn to realize that, you know what, I'm not as intelligent as I'd like to be, and sometimes I do need to take time to, you know, practice something or think about something deeper so that I can maybe finally understand it. So if you go ahead and jungle track, or attempt to, after this video, and you don't succeed immediately, if that frustrates you, right? If it I mean, like, obviously it's a frustrating thing to not have something work, right? But if it frustrates you to the point where you're like, you know, like frustrated, how do I describe this? It like distracts you, you know what I mean? Like you're more focused on how angry you are about not being able to do something than not being able to do it. Okay? And that's bad. Oh, I should have known the red was not there. Like, people will come into my channel and ask, like, how do I get to platinum fast? You know what I mean? Like, how do I climb quickly? It's like, it's not about climbing quickly, it's about climbing at all, right? Like, having the ability to. So, same thing with jungle tracking. I know a lot of you guys, this one in particular, because it involves numbers and shit. I don't know why this guy took it. You're gonna go in, you're gonna lose track in 5 minutes. And then you're gonna spend the next 15 minutes thinking, damn, like, what's going on? Am I inadequate? And like, yeah, no, literally, like, you are literally inadequate because it's probably your first time trying it, or maybe like only your 10th time. Like, it's taken me what, like 8 years 8 years to... I didn't even jungle track back in the day when I was climbing to challenger initially. I didn't even do that. I just won because of mechanics. But now I have to think, because I'm an old man, I guess, relative to these kids. So at least, hopefully, my little anecdote about my journey helps you put into perspective what your journey is probably going to look like. Because you're not going to learn this in a month, right? Unless you have like no life and you play like 18 hours a day, I guess. So remove that expectation. Yeah, the reason why I'm not going to track this guy past, like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I don't really do that. Even in scrims, I don't really do it past 10 minutes. Is because the game opens up a lot more and there are a lot more variables. Sorry, not a lot more variables, more like a lot more options for what those variables will be. For example, like their win con, like what are they actually playing for? I don't know how to describe all these sort of things. There are a lot of intangibles, but just take my word for it. You don't want to bust your brain tracking someone for like 20 minutes, because you're probably going to be wrong a lot more often later into the game. There are times where you don't take camps at all, because taking your bot side alone will give you the threshold to get, I don't know, level 10 or something, or a level that you needed. I'm just gonna go fight these guys. Yeah, I'm strong enough that I can just fight these guys. Okay. Italy, yay. Just give you one practical example. Let's say you have your jungle camps coming up towards the top side. Doesn't matter what side you are on, but the dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. So what you opt to do is you take the bot side camps, you don't go to the top side camps, and you go straight to the dragon. This is not always realistic in the early game, because not every single jungler is going to want to take the dragon by themselves immediately. Also, like, they become a little bit more important later on. This just like something that you probably have seen in your own games, right? Where like you might even want to do that, or maybe you make the mistake of doing the full clear instead of going to the dragon, and your team gets mad at you because they're like, why aren't you at dragon? You know. So at this point, tracking your opponent should have given you a lead, or at least like made it so that you're not losing. And if you're at that point, you can just, I guess I should cover this in a different lesson. I used to do pro guides like this, and I'm like, if I want to explain one part of the game, I feel like I have to explain every single part of the game, because then you can't make, like, you wouldn't be able to make sense of why you should be jungle tracking if you don't understand like mid game, late game macro or whatever, like what it allows you to do in those cases. It's like, okay, if you're like stronger here, you can do this. I'm doing this live, so I'm trying to figure out how I should do this lesson real time. Hopefully this isn't a bad video. I'm gonna put it out regardless, because I think it's just nice to put anything out there. Man, fucking die. This is actually the exact format that I did my pro guides in. I would do like a verbal lesson for like an hour where I would like talk about something with like visuals, and then I go into a game and I'd explain it, like, if it required an explanation, especially the jungle tracking or like the early game. Like they used to make me do topics like how to dictate the early game pace as a jungler, and I would literally say the exact same stuff about like, track the jungler, look at their start, I say that kind of stuff. We can go fight these guys. And then after like the early game, all it is just me killing everyone. I'm not even kidding you. Like that was every lesson. Or almost every lesson. Because again, I feel like I can't really explain one thing. I have to explain everything. If we're gonna talk about League of Legends, dude, a bunch of these things are connected. Yeah, let's just walk away here. I love this build, by the way. If you're gonna play Nidalee, I don't know if I recommend this build, but you can try it. If you're even, I feel like it's not good, because you'll be sitting on like a Riftmaker and like parts of a Frozen Heart alone. Obviously here, because I just, I'm what, like 4,000 LP above them, so it's not a fair game. I'm just gonna get ahead. That's why I said like maybe I should do this in Diamond. Anyways, if you got this far, I really hope that you learned literally anything. I'm gonna repeat the exact same things I've said in this video in a next one if I were to do the jungle tracking. So I can just repeat the same process, but it's a different game, so you can observe like different clears, right? Maybe different choices that the enemy has made, which I think should be helpful. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Peace, brother. Oh, nice prediction. That was a nice prediction. That was really good. He shot it upwards. Okay, nice. I think that'd be pretty cool. Oh, I'm gonna get hit by that. It might actually be comical to hear me repeat the same instructions about like the process of tracking, but then it's just like a different game every time, and I can just overlay them. I have this recording, right? I could just study the script and put them all on the same screen, but like, like 64 TV screen, that format. I don't know how to call that, or what to call that. Like that one with Joe Rogan where it's like Jamie pull that up, and then there's like 16 different Joe Rogans, and they all say it at the same time. Yeah, I'm off topic now. But I shouldn't feel bad about that, because this is how my stream and like my videos normally go. I go off on tangents. So yeah, I'm sorry if you were here to listen to like a strict, like scripted video of do this, do that. Maybe I'll get better at that if I do these videos more. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. All right, peace.